Hey folks, Nas here. I appreciate everybody joining me today. Hope everybody is doing well. Let me see about getting some stuff switched over here on my end. Alrighty, so I know I'm about a week late to this little update teaser that Toplitz had put out, but it looks like many people's requests have been answered. So since the game started back in September 2020, I think that's right. Excuse me. There's been players that have been asking for a female character, and you have it now. However, it looks like the female character is only going to be available right now in the co-op mode. At least that is my understanding with what I've seen with the update trailer. Mel Reaver, good morning. Anik, how you doing today? Corvo, good afternoon. All right. I appreciate you folks joining us. So I've turned the sound off on this just because there's been some issues with Medieval Dynasty music and things like that. Toplitz has stepped in. Apparently there was a licensing troll that was trying to dupe people into giving them money so they wouldn't demonetize their channel and so on and so forth. I was fortunate enough not to have been affected by this, which is extremely surprising after some of the other Medieval Dynasty content creators I'd been talking to and how many monetization strikes they had gotten against their Medieval Dynasty videos. But luckily Toplitz stepped in. They fought the fight with these content creators and eliminated, as far as I know, eliminated all of the issues through YouTube and stuff like that, which was really nice. However, just to err on the side of caution, I'm leaving game sound and obviously their video sound off just because I don't want to take a chance on getting any kind of a strike like that. But let's go through and we'll turn this co-op mode video on and go through this one more time to where we can actually see the female character, which I think that they've done a really good job on the female character. Still bothers me that Rasamir's eyes look so sunken and dark. But it looks, the modeling on the character looks really nice. The movements, obviously, I'm thinking that they probably pulled the movements off of Rasamir because the movement looks the same to me. Other than the character sizing is a little different, a little smaller to fit that female stature and stuff. This is pretty cool though. It's we got 2 more teasers coming. I'm gonna stop that before ads or whatever pop up. But the modeling on it looks really nice. I like the look of the character. She actually looks what's the word I'm looking for? I don't necessarily want to say prettier. I mean, it's a very generic thing. But if you compare her to a lot of the other villagers, she looks to stand out as far as looks. Above and beyond the majority of the villagers and stuff that you're able to bring into your village. But as she should, as Rasamir should as well over the men, because these are going to be the main characters for players. Adarist, good. How you doing? Good to see you. But you guys we're getting a female character. Now, in the co-op mode, I do plan on doing a co-op mode series. I don't know how long the series is going to go. I do have a couple of other players that are going to join me on that. Now that we have a female character, I'm not sure. I may play the female character just to see how it plays, because I've played Rasamir for the last 3 years now. Sorry, I was eating breakfast, and man, I must have gotten crumbs all over my desk. kind of in a hurry this morning. Trying to get set up for the stream. My little brush out here and dust my desk off so these crumbs stop bothering me. my wife made some healthy blueberry muffins the other day, and I've been definitely enjoying those the last couple of mornings with my coffee. She does. Mel Reaver, I would have to agree that she looks more lifelike. Let's get back to yeah. I would have to agree that she looks more lifelike than Rasimir. Look up. There you go. I mean, that's the detailing on him is pretty good. Now you gotta remember, this is a cinematic viewing. They have obviously enhanced the graphics and stuff, so more details stand out in these videos. So I'm real curious as to how she will look in the finished version in the game. But I mean, you can see, like in the cinematic, you can see the eyebrows, how detailed the eyebrows are, even down to the redness in the eye here. It's hard to see on this one here, but you can see the redness in the eye, how it transitions from a really dark, where the eyelid starts, going in towards the eyeball. I can't zoom in because it's YouTube, obviously. You can see the nails, the white on the nails. I mean, there's a lot of detail. You can see the wrinkle in the knuckles there. But if you look at the fingers here, like on the front of the bow, she works. I mean, she doesn't have nails that stick out beyond the end of her finger. They're worn down, like she works and everything. So I like that kind of a detail. They haven't given her an overly female look, like she's sitting down having lattes and Rasimir's doing all the work kind of a thing. You can tell that her character does work. I don't know that we see his hands, though. We don't ever see his hands, do we? No, we don't. I'm kind of curious as to what his hands look like compared to hers. But so much detail has gone into this. You can see the freckles on her face, you know, indicating obviously she's going to be 18 like Rasimir is when you start the game. But I don't think that there's going to be like a character creation screen. Like, you're not going to be able to pick and choose hair color and eye color and facial features and body types and stuff like that, because you don't get to choose that right now with Rasimir, unless they're going to be adding that for both characters, which I don't necessarily see them doing. At least not at this time. She looks tired and worn out. Well, I have to say, so does Rasimir. Rasimir, of course, they've got the detail here of his two different color eyes, but I mean, he doesn't look happy at all. But he's probably not happy because she's as good of an archer as he is. Questionable. She's probably even better than Alwyn was. Ozzy, thanks for joining us. I hope you're doing well today. The attention to detail is really great. Yes, they have. And again, this is a cinematic, so it's going to be interesting to see how well the detail looks in game once they implement it and everything. Of course, if you haven't applied for the beta test for the upcoming update, I believe that application session is over. I don't remember what the last day was. It seems like it might have been yesterday. But I think that they're going to be picking their beta testers and start testing on the 3rd. So in just a couple of days. I still haven't heard whether I actually made it or not. I don't know how they're going to contact us. I'm assuming that they may contact you or whoever the testers are via email or possibly via Discord, because they were asking for Discord information as well. But that's so they can invite you to the beta tester Discord channel, because they'll have a private beta tester Discord channel as well. That way you can converse with the other testers and the devs and the managers and stuff about things that you find, ideas that you've got, and convey what you're seeing and experiencing in the game and how things work. That way they can iron out as many issues as they can before this goes live. When is this going to drop? They haven't announced it yet. But if I had to guess, because this is going to be such a huge update, I would fare to guess that they're going to try and get this out around the anniversary date, which would be roughly September, I believe, 21st. Because I believe September 21st is when the game went live back in 2020 in early access. That would be my assumption. But they have not made any announcement as to really what date the co-op is going to be active. And there's been a lot of people, what am I trying to think of, make comments on whether it's going to be like a cross-play kind of a thing. Are PC players going to be able to play with console players and Game Pass players and stuff like that? Again, that hasn't been announced either. I would imagine that if it's not available on release date, that they're going to be working very hard to make it available, because that's a whole part of the co-op, is being able to bring everybody together, the players that are on different versions. I say versions. Everybody's on the same version, but PC players and console players, they have different filing systems. So that would be my assumption. All right, let's see if we can get back over here. Let's turn this off. Get back into the game. Let me clean my screen off here. Let's bring this here. I just got to clean my side up so I can see things a little better. Let's put that there. Christina, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Alrighty. Now, in the last stream, I had started wooing, because I am playing as my heir now. I'm playing as Lambert, not Rasimir, even though I look like Rasimir. And I started wooing Alruna here. Now, of course, I have no way to actually identify who and where she is on the map other than clicking on her name. In the management list, I can see if I can go down and find her. Here, I can click on her name, and if you look at the mini map over here where my icon is, you'll see an extra marker pop up. The problem is you can't zoom in and out of this map to see specifically where she is. You can just see the general area she's at on the map. So I kind of had to walk around town and look at all the women's names so I could find Alruna, so I could talk to her again, because we're trying to woo her to make her our wife. But I followed her from her house, stalkingly, I'm sure, and I saw her walking up to this guy over here, and it's like, out of all of these seats, she walked past all of these seats to go sit down over here next to this guy, and I'm like, oh man, is she already interested in somebody else? And when I talked to him, let's see, let me take a closer look at you. He is actually her sister. So you can see right here, Alruna is his sister. So she went down and she sat next to her brother before work. So that, I thought that was pretty cool, that they've added that type of a mechanic in there. So apparently Alruna is in the game close to her brother. So she went and sat next to her brother and obviously, chit-chatted or whatever before, they head off to work. Thought that was kind of a cool little thing. I never really noticed, I never paid attention. Not that I didn't notice. I never paid attention to who different characters were going and sitting next to, or even why they would sit next to other characters and stuff in the game. But anyway, let's go up here and let's talk to her. We got to finish this day out before we can actually sleep the season away. Now, if you've been following my last couple of streams, this is season 5 gameplay save file. So when they added the, what is it? The farm hut. Yeah, it's probably not the right name, but they added the farming hut. That's what I'm going to call it for right now. And all of my people were scheduled for work in the barn as farmers, and then they implemented the farm hut or the farm shed, maybe. So that kind of broke my farming system, but my season 5 had already ended, so I didn't really go in and try and do anything with that. So I decided to come back to this because we're kind of in a lull between series right now. I'm kind of waiting on co-op to start before I really start a new series. I'm going to start working on kind of updating some of my older guides. I've got guides that people are still using that are 2 years old, and they're still relevant. All the information in them is relevant. But they're adding new stuff into the game, or have added new stuff into the game that wasn't available when I was doing some of those guides. So I've got to update some of my guides, and I'm going to start working on that while we're waiting on co-op to start. But in the last couple of streams, I wanted to go through, come back into season 5, and start trying to see if I could fix my issues. Now, I've got 199 people for my population, and I wanted to see how tough it would be, because basically my food market crashed because I was making nothing but flatbread for all of my villagers, and when they implemented this farm shed, I had no way of actually feeding my villagers. So in the last couple of streams, I had to go around to the different villages and buy grain and flatbread and meals. You know, I spent thousands of coins trying to feed my people to get them through these couple of seasons until we can get wheat planted and get the food process back up and running again. So we should, after I talk to Alruna, we're going to head over to the farming village, and we're going to make sure that all of the wheat is planted and everything, which I think it is. And then we change one more season, because I believe they planted it in the spring. We have to go through the summer season, and then autumn is when they can go and harvest the wheat. So we'll see about changing the season at the end of this day, because we're on day 3 in summer right now. But let's see if we can talk to her again. We've got her up to a 20 on in affection right now. Not infection, but affection. Let's see. You seem very interested. Could I ask you something? Sigvar, good to see you. I appreciate you joining us. Ozzy, yes, I started using some of your... Oh, nice. I appreciate that. You guys really helped me. Nice. I appreciate that, guys. That's awesome. Make sure you click those like buttons. The algorithm really likes the clicking of the like buttons on all those videos. Also, it likes it the longer you watch them and the more times you watch them. It really likes that too. But anyway, let's see. What's your biggest dream? When I was a kid, I wanted to be an adventurer, but now I don't know. I just wish to be happy. Or number 2, don't make fun of me. But my favorite animals were always chicken. No idea why. I just love the way they run around and move their heads. How about you? Or let's see, number 3, where do you come from? Tell me something about your birthplace. Let's go with birthplace. That's usually kind of a safe question. Yeah, we got 5% on that one. I don't remember much before the orphanage. Okay, so she's an orphan. Interesting. Let's see. We called it the house. Creative, right? It wasn't much, but at least we could feel like we belong somewhere. Okay, nice. How are you doing? Beautiful. Okay, so we've gotten her to the 25%, so now we can call her beautiful. Let's see. I've never felt love like this before. No, we're not going to do that one just yet. We need to be at, they want us at like 100%. It used to be at 75%. You actually had a chance. But I think that they've changed that now to where you have to be at 100% affection before you can actually ask her to marry you, and she accept. Alrighty, number 2. Sorry about that. I had a mustache whisker just fall on my lip. It was bugging me. Okay. I've always appreciated an empathetic and sensitive woman like yourself. A little too early for that. A little too mushy. Let's see. Have you heard about the blacksmith from Hornica? He's always horny and hammered. Okay. I don't remember whether she liked the funny stuff or not. Let's see. It might sound strange, but I've heard that soaking clothes in urine makes them easier to wash. Might be a little too early about talking to her about washing clothes. Let's go with horny and hammered. 0. At his age, good for him, I guess. Okay, how are you doing, beautiful? Let's see. Do you ever wish to be unintelligent? As simple as possible, to have no worries, to never be troubled by thoughts, just live in the eternal sunshine of the spotless mind. Yeah, I don't know about that. Let's see. I can't stand laziness in people. Your diligence should be an inspiration for everyone. Time to stand down. Christina, thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. Some say that the king can tell the future. Let's go with the laziness here. See how she likes that. Oh, we got a 10 out of that. She liked that a lot. I appreciate that. I always try to excel at what I do. How are you doing, beautiful? What's the difference between a woman's argument and a knife? Now, this is something I would probably say. Let's see. That's the finest dress I've seen in the whole valley. Or number 4, do you know why bears would never use swords? Because they always fight with their bare hands. Okay. Still haven't quite figured out if she is the Joker or not. So let's try the bear. Oh, she liked that. +5. Okay. She's got a sense of humor. So we're up to 40% affection now. Hang on, I'm having a... Let's see. It was your mother that liked the jokes. Yeah. I do like the jokesters for sure. It makes, in my mind, it makes the interactions with your wife and stuff hilarious. Some of the reactions that they put in the game. Red Gal, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Haven't had a chance to check in for a while due to moving. Glad to be back. Hope you're doing well. I am doing well, and I hope your move went easy. I know moving's not easy. Moving sucks. And let me tell you, it doesn't get any easier the older you get. I do not want to move again. My last move was a 3,000-mile move when I moved from California. My family and I moved from California here to Tennessee. And when we buy furniture, we don't buy IKEA furniture. We buy heavy-duty, sturdy oak furniture. We buy stuff that's going to last. Well, the problem with buying something that's going to last is it's freaking heavy. If we move again, I'm going to have to save my money, and we're going to have to hire a moving company because I do not want to move all this furniture again, especially up and down stairs, because we live in a 2-story house. Alrighty, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, this was her response about the bear and his bare hands. It's good that they don't. Using weapons could make them even more barbaric. A real force to be reckoned with. Oh, nice. I like that. Let's see. How are you doing, beautiful? Okay, she's done talking to us. All right, we got her up to a 40%. That's pretty good. So if we can keep doing that, the next 2 times I talk to her, we could probably ask her to be our wife. That's good. All right, let's call Haas. Where's he at? There you are. And let's head over to the farming village. Check out the stuff over there. I know that they've planted everything. because they planted it last season. I probably need to look at probably need to look at maybe building another house. I don't think we have any houses that are vacant or even spots. Oh, we do right there. There's only one person in this house. Who is that? Oh, Astrid. This was the gal that we got from Baranica, I believe it was. She was the inventor or something. She's now a water carrier. But she doesn't have anybody to be with. Okay. 28. I don't have anybody that's not with somebody, I don't think. Who's in here? Another 28-year-old female, Nicola. And another 39-year-old female. Okay, in this house, that's Rasimir and my mother. Let's see. Everybody else is 4 of 4. They're Lambert, that's me. The builder's hut. Oh, that's right. The builder doesn't have a wife because we left him without a wife because he is over by the memorial tree. So the builder is in this series is representative of Martin, who was Lyda's husband. So that's why he is over there in the builder's hut by himself. Alrighty, so we were going this way, right? We're going here. Let me put a marker up so I can keep on track here. So if you guys haven't seen that, I have a video of the origin of the memorial tree and why it became a thing in Medieval Dynasty. Watch out. Get out of bed, bunny rabbit. You can find that on my channel as well. Mel Reaver, I have no intention of ever moving again. I've done that too many times already, and my furniture is solid wood. Yeah, exactly. Mine is the same way. Leslie, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well today. Love that role playing. Alrighty. So looks like we have 5 assignments that have issues. I gotta look at the food as well. Let's kind of stop. Get off the horse. Go take a look at the food real quick. I can see, yeah, see they got all the stuff planted. So yeah. As soon as I sleep the night on this day, we'll just sleep the season away. That way they can start harvesting. Let's see. What's the food situation look like? Fish. Lots of fish meat. Are they cooking the fish meat? No? Probably should have them cooking the fish meat. We got 45 meat and gravy left. Looks like they've eaten all of the flatbread that I made. Okay, let's do this. Do I have anybody cooking the fish? I don't remember if I had anybody cooking the fish. Yeah, see, they're doing flatbread. Also doing flatbread. And flatbread. Now they're making a lot of flatbread. Hang on. Yeah, I got them making 6 flatbread. I don't remember how many I needed in a day. It seemed like it was like 90 something. They're making one flatbread. Nope, that's all the kitchens here. There's a couple of more kitchens around the map, though. Let's see. Christina loved that story. Nice. Mel Ruber, I stop at the memorial tree every now and then and refresh the flowers. Oh, that's nice. Good deal. Leslie, I was a little late, so watch the co-op part first. Like playing as a woman myself. I'm not bothered playing a female character. I've played female characters in different games. Just because, I mean, there's some games to where the male character is just, I don't know, freakishly weird. whether it's the voice or whatever. There's just some games that I've played female characters just because it's easier to play. A lot of times the female character doesn't take up as much room on the screen, especially if it's a closer third-person view, because the female character is typically a smaller character, is where a male character with the big heroic broad shoulders and stuff, you start getting some gear on it, and the gear stands up, like they'll have spikes or whatever off the shoulders, and a lot of times that'll interfere with my vision in the game. So yeah, a female character is easier to play sometimes because it has a smaller stature. I like to see the game more than the back of my character. And if I'm wearing stuff that impedes my vision in the game, I don't like it. I don't want to use it. Wow, we're having a party here. They're all just standing around because there's literally nothing to do. Everything is planted. What is this? This is going to be flax? Yeah, that's flax. Do I have flax? That's not planted, right? Yeah, requires a bag. Do I have flax? Let's run back and see if I've got flax. I don't even remember when flax is planted. Jeez. You'd think I'd know that stuff by now. Corvo, I watched it and it was very moving and well done. The Toplets for introducing the yeah, they did a really good job on that. I think it's fabulous that they acknowledge that in the game and everything. Yeah, I've got plenty of flaxseed. Okay, I should have looked when that was planted. Let's see. Fields using the bag during the spring. Okay, so it'll be spring before they even plant flax. Good to know. Yeah, it took me a little bit to actually put that video together, and as many of you know that have been following me since the beginning, when I did that video, it was very early. Now, granted, I've only been doing YouTube for, 3, maybe 4 years now, and I'm still very early in my YouTube career. Quotes, I'm doing air quotes. You can't see that, but I'm doing it. But so the video, I tried to make it as personal as I could to Martin and his needs. I worked very closely with him while I was making this video. I ran everything by him. I went through all of the dialogue. It took us several meetings on Discord and stuff to get through this, because it was a tough time for Martin. I mean, he just lost his wife. And it was tough for me because I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it as good a justice as I could. Because Martin had come to me. He had approached me and asked me to do this video for him. And I was very honored that he chose me, and he told me why, and we talked about it and everything, and I wanted to make sure, very sure, that he was okay with this, and it wasn't just one of those choices that he made in the moment because, you know, of how he was feeling about losing his wife and things like that. There were many times where I had to re-record my dialogue because I literally would start sobbing trying to read my own damn dialogue. Because I was putting myself in his shoes, how I would feel. I couldn't imagine losing my wife. It was tough, you know. So I put a lot of my own. There's a lot of my own personal feelings in that video. Now, granted, it's a short video. It's very brief and to the point, and it goes over everything that Martin wanted me to convey in the video and everything. But it took me, gosh, I think it might have taken me 2 months to make that video. Going over everything with Martin, showing him all of my handwritten dialogue, reading it to him. We had to do this multiple times because of emotions. He made suggestions. Of course, any suggestion he made, if I was able to put it in, you know, and it was legal for me to put it in, I wouldn't get any strikes or anything, then I did. All of the imagery that I used, he supplied all of the photos of her and him, and gave me permission to use those. I worked with another creator for the thumbnail of the tree. Ran that by him and everything, showed him that. He loved everything. And then once he signed off on all of it, I edited everything together, showed him the final video. He actually got several of his family members and friends together and showed them the video before it ever went live. And I got an approval from everybody. And once I did that, I made the video live. So it was definitely a process. I've spent the most time on that video, more than I've spent on any other video I've done, as it should have been. But it was definitely an interesting video. I was super green in the YouTube realm, and I was very nervous to put that video out because I wasn't sure how it was going to be taken. There were even people at Toplits that were, "Are you sure you want to do this? You know, this could have, you know, negative, you know, effects, you know, sharing this story." And I'm like, but it was all up to Martin. If Martin was okay with everything, that's all I needed, you know. And we still converse every now and then. It's not often, but every now and then we'll pop on and we'll say hi to each other or whatever. But I don't know if he still plays the game very often anymore. I would imagine he still does. But it was definitely the toughest video I've ever had to make. I mean, all of my other videos, there's a lot of work that goes into what I do. A ton of work, especially in the guides. There's a ton of work in the guides, and especially the shorter the guide, because everybody wants their information in a guide as quickly as they can get it. The shorter the guide tends to be the longer it takes to make it, because there's more editing. You have to go through and test and reword the dialogue to make it short and things like that. That way, it flows nicely. The audience can consume it without being rattled by the used car salesman pitch kind of a speed. Because there's some guys that I've seen out there, they're literally just blazing through it, almost like they've read their dialogue, edited everything, and then they sped their video up. So that sounds like they're talking almost like a chipmunk. Okay, that's a new name for me, and I am probably going to butcher it, but let me see if I can do this. Asuma Serpal the Third? Man, if I butchered that, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Oh, is that ASSUR? Man, I can't hardly read that. But anyway, yeah, I was actually crying into my pillow from what, yeah, it was tough. It was tough to make. I mean, it still hits me in the feels, you know, when I go back and watch it, because I go back and watch it every now and then. Usually if I get a comment or something on the video, I'll go back and I'll watch it, especially if they're making a comment about something specific in the video. And I do that with any of my videos. If somebody makes a comment about a specific point in any of my videos, I usually have to go back and watch almost the whole video, so I can understand the context and try and figure out what it is that they're talking about. Because I make the videos doesn't necessarily mean I remember everything I said in the videos. So I want to make sure that I can answer or comment on those questions and statements accurately. But anyway, we are getting into the evening time now. It's going to be time to run back to the house and sleep the season away. Let's get turned around here, maybe. Leslie, I appreciate the time you put into your videos. Well, I appreciate you watching. It's the whole reason I do it is so you people can watch and more people watch. But I try very hard to put out accurate information, and I specify accurate because there's a lot of times people put out videos and guide videos, and they try to get them out quickly, and they miss. A lot of times they'll miss the accuracy on their information, which can be misleading to people. You know, when you're watching the video, the content creator may know in his mind or in his processes on what to do, where to find stuff, so on and so forth. But you have to make sure as a creator to convey the information properly so people can understand it and follow it. Because if you're trying to follow a guide and you're still having to hunt and peck and search and for the thing, then the guide really hasn't done you much good. But if the guide can literally walk you to the location or show you the exact spot or describe to you in words what you're doing or looking for, and you don't necessarily... I am really failing at this. Can you just jump the fence? Nope, I didn't. Jump too early. But if you can't follow along, how do I put this? So when you're watching a guide, a lot of times you're in the game while you're watching the guide, and ideally, a guide is supposed to be something that, in my mind, that you play in the background while you're in the game and you're listening to the content creator tell you what to do. If they're going and doing the situations to where, you know, where they're using this and that, so like you need to pick this up or you need to pick that up, but they're not describing to you, you need to pick up the can on the table in the corner, or you need to pick up the animal figurine off the chest under the candle. Then if they're just saying pick this up and pick that up, then you have to take your eyes off of your game to look at the video that's playing. Now, all that content creator wants you to do is click on their video and let it play. YouTube has no idea whether your eyes are actually looking at the screen or not. As long as you're watching it and playing it, YouTube likes it. So the more descriptive that a content creator can be in their videos without adding a ton of extra time, the better. So You want to keep, you know, as a content creator, we try to keep our videos short and sweet and simple, but yet we don't want to keep it so simple to where you constantly have to watch the video. But the big thing is that we want to draw you back in to actually look at the video towards the end. That way you can come in and you can click like and you can click subscribe, because those two actions are probably the biggest and best actions you can take on any content creator's video. Because the fact that you've watched the video for at least 75% of its time and click the like button, then that video is going to get pushed out by the YouTube algorithm to many more people. And if 10% of those people watch 75% and click the like button, then YouTube's going to say, we're going to keep pushing this out. And then we're going to keep pushing this out to see more people. And that's how a content creator, at least that's how I want to grow my audience. I am not looking for a viral video or internet gold, so to say. I'm looking for long-term support from my viewers. I want my viewers to keep coming back. Did I just sleep today? Dadgummit. Sleep the season. I want my viewers to keep coming back to my videos because they like my content. I'm not necessarily looking for people just to come to my videos because they want to learn something. You know, I like people that enjoy my company, and then hopefully they learn something while they're here. Let's see. Yes, sometimes I am completely unfazed by things that bring most people to tears. Oh, we're talking about the memorial tree. Oh, that's right. I started trying to read your name, and then I butchered it, and then I forgot to read your comment. Let's see. Or at least the polite pretense of it. And I often don't trust myself to believe in social settings. That's a good defense, for sure. There's a new name I haven't seen, and those are a lot of letters that I don't know that I can pronounce together properly. But NK, I'm going to call you NK for right now, unless you show me some other way to pronounce that. Let's see. I appreciate you being here, and thanks for joining. Hope you're doing well. Have you ever tried exploring modding for Medieval Dynasty? I haven't tried myself, though. As far as I know, there's no modding available for the game. It's been asked many times over the years, but I don't believe that modding is available for the game at this time. Now, I personally don't care for mods in games because I think they change the gameplay too much. Or let me rephrase it. They can change the gameplay too much. I typically like the base play of a game. Now, unless you're playing something that you have played over and over and over and over, but you still enjoy the game, but you're wanting some excitement, then I can understand getting mods. But mods that change the complete way the game plays, that I don't like at all. I like enhancements to a game, and I don't mind mods that enhance a game a little bit. And by enhancements, I want to explain. UI enhancements are probably the biggest thing that I would use mods for. And probably the best example I can give you is Space Engineers. If you've ever played Space Engineers and you've played the base game, you know that the UI is very bland. It's like a gray-blue UI. Everything blends together. Nothing really stands out on the UI. And there is a mod that, and there's probably a couple of mods at this point, but there's a mod that I was using that actually brightened the UI. So your action bars and your stats monitors and things like that, it gave them distinct colors for different features and stuff like that. Oh, excuse me. As opposed to having this blue-gray bar and everything was like this blue-gray color, like your health or your thirst. Well, you didn't have thirst in Space Engineers, but you had like thruster fuel and your health. There was something else, but all the levels were the bars were the same color. It's like nothing stood out from the last. So having a mod like that I don't mind. But playing on a game with mods that like completely change the gameplay, I'm not a big fan of. I'm just not. If I'm getting bored with a game, then I play another game and then come back to that game. If a game's good, like Medieval Dynasty, I keep coming back to Medieval Dynasty. Now, granted, I make videos on it, but I do get bored of it sometimes and I need a change. You know, so I'll go and I'll play No Man's Sky. I'm making videos for that right now. Excuse me, I'm making videos for that right now. I played Empyrean for a little while. I'm like right now I'm playing Red Dead Redemption Online. You know, just in my personal time. I don't plan on making videos for Red Dead right now, or any time actually. I think it's going to be too involved a game for me to learn enough to make videos on. But I go and play a different game and then come back. Let's see. You did this in the hospital too. I'm rather shocked that no one ever heard me ranting about going medieval dynasty on MDs, or going medieval on MD. I loved my granddad. And calls here to place. Okay. Mel Reaver, I prefer to play a game the way the devs intended it to be played, but when I'm doing something specific that doesn't advance the game, I will use mods in some games. I can see that. I mean, there are games to where different aspects of the game just, they don't seem complete. You know, and it could be in a sense that the game is just so big that the devs, you know, because obviously the devs, they're on timelines and they have specific things that have to be done because the people that are paying their salaries are saying these things need to be done. So I can see where some of these larger games, things will be missed and seem incomplete. And that's where some of these modders can come in and finish that. And in a lot of cases, and I saw this a lot when I played World of Warcraft. So World of Warcraft, I was huge into mods, and I hated after the fact that I was so reliant on the mods, because when there was an update, it took sometimes days and weeks for all of my mods to get updated for me to use them again, which was frustrating. That's one of the reasons I don't like mods. But when I was playing World of Warcraft, they actually purchased the mods from some of these modders and implemented them into the game. So it does, and in doing that, it does two things. One, the developer doesn't have to spend the time developing that portion of the game. They can literally buy that mod and, in essence, drag and drop it into the game, and they're done. They just have to test it to make sure it doesn't break stuff when they do it. And two, it gives the player what they're wanting in the game. You know, so which is good. I think mods can be a good thing for the gaming environment. But I think that some mods that completely change a game and the way it plays, that's not for me. Because if I wanted a completely different game, I would play a completely different game. Not add a mod to a game that I already have. Kim, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. Needless to say, I decided to skip the funeral because I wasn't certain that I wouldn't pull the whole thing up raging at the doctors. Oh, yeah. Another weird thing that I cry about is the Pokemon one-off Pikachu's vacation. I don't know. I don't follow Pokemon. You might as well be speaking a foreign language to me. Alrighty, so let's see. I have. I was trying to look for. Nope, not that. I was trying to look for my gal. That's not her. Nope, she's too young. Nope, wrong button. Here. Go to management. Yeah, the wind was whipping up there. Let's see if we can kind of locate her. She is a lumberjack, I believe. So she may be on her way over to the... Well, we have another person that's turned 18. Yeah, she's on her way over to the lumberjack village. She's got a long ways to go. She's got to go way down here. Okay. So let's go see if we can run into her. Talk to her. Come on, jump. There we go. Oh, there you are. Nope. You like modding, just haven't checked for this game yet? Yeah, that's... I know that there's really not any mods available for the game, as far as I know. I believe there may be something available for like free fly or something, but now the game has the camera mode available in it, so you can theoretically free fly and see all around the game, but from different angles that you never were able to see from before. But as far as like a gameplay mechanic, yeah, there's no mods for that. But Toplitz and RenderCube, I think, are doing a fabulous job with this game. I believe that they are working extremely hard to listen to the community and try to bring the community what they're wanting. Now, this female character, I have to say, I'm pretty surprised that they ended up doing this, because early on, it was a very hard no. Watch out, bunny. Because even the week that the game came out, there were comments that of people, well, you know, I'm not going to play the game because there's no female character. Which, in my mind, that's a silly reason not to play a game. I mean, are you only playing games because they have a female character? That doesn't seem right. I mean, you may be missing out on some fabulous games. And in my mind, you would be if you decided not to play Medieval Dynasty just because it didn't have a female character. Alrighty. So they're already working on clearing the fields, and they should already be planting more wheat. Fertilizer. Yeah, she's already putting the fertilizer down, because the wheat can go down in spring and autumn. So we should have wheat 2 seasons a year, available 2 seasons a year. Nas, a little tip. When looking for someone in the name list, click on names and it will appear alphabetically. Yeah, I should probably be doing that for her, because she would be near the top of the list because her name starts with an A. But a lot of times I typically know that her age, so I clicked age and then scrolled down through the kids, and she would have been one of the first ones that were an adult. Well, now she's the second, because we have this gal who is a hunter. And I don't think that she's going to have a profession, because my hunting lodge is full. Hunting. Fishing. Now, fishing is going to be survival. I mean, I could probably build another hunting lodge. That probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Now, see, ideally what you could do is you could kind of start micromanaging your villagers' skill levels. So like once they reach level 10, they can't go any higher on their skill levels. So you could actually take a look at some of these people and see what other skills they would be good at. You can also go and talk to villagers to see what they don't like. So that way you can try and place them in a different profession to help them level that profession more. Let's see. Is there anybody not working? I don't want to stop them from planting. Yeah, there's some people here. So we go up, and we talk to Tadamir here.
Hello, sir.
Let's see. Have you heard anything recently? Where can I find? Could you move a little? Let's try this. Gustavia, no. Where can I find? Could you move a little? I thought there used to be a dialogue option.
Hello.
Maybe it's not with people you've already brought into the village. Where can I find? Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Have a nice day.
Let's go to Denica real quick and see if we can find somebody that is not one of our villagers. Because maybe that dialogue is only available before. Whoops! You bring the villager in. I'm sorry. Red Dead Redemption. You tap E to get on and off your horse. In here, you have to hold it. So let's run up to Denica and see if I can see that dialogue. Because I've mentioned this dialogue option before. But I've never talked to anybody after they were a villager. And it may only be if they don't have a job. And we can test that too. Because we still have that one gal that just turned 18. And she does not have a job. But let's see. Is there somebody here? Yeah, so one of these people here.
Hail, friend.
Small talk. I think that's going to be it. So if we can do small talk. What's on your mind? How's your day going? Could you tell me something about your skills? Does anything give you a hard time? So when you're going and you're talking to villagers and you're going, or potential villagers, people around the little campfire, and you're going to be looking to invite them into your village. Before you do, you can actually go into their options and go to small talk and then choose the option, does anything give you a hard time? And they'll tell you down here, my sense of direction is non-existent. Let's see, my basket can be full of mushrooms and herbs, but in the end, I have a hard time finding my way back home. So if she's got to travel to get to her job, she's not going to like that. So she needs to be close to where she's working. So let's say, I don't know what her skills are, but let's say that you were thinking about putting her in a mine, but yet your village is across the map from the mine that you're going to send her to. Now, when your mining villager starts heading to work, they're already working. They're gathering the materials out of the mine while they're walking to their job. It's one of the few jobs that actually do that. So in this gal's case, you would probably want to have her be something like a farmer, to where the workstation is where she, right close to where she's going to be working and where she's living. So her house would probably need to be close to where she's working. So she would probably end up taking the roundabout way to get to where she's going to work, rather than somebody that has a better sense of direction than her. So if you put her in a job, let's say you put her in farming, but yet her house is across the map from the farm, that means that she has to travel all that way to get to the farm before she even starts farming. She does not start working the farm while she's walking. And if she has no sense of direction, she's going to take the longest route possible to get from house to work and back home. Let's see. Let me catch up on some of the chat. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Sengoku Dynasty. Have you tried the playtest? I can say I can't answer that right now, whether I've done the playtest or not. That should be enough information for that. But I believe Sengoku, I think there's 9 days left, and I think Sengoku is supposed to launch. I believe it's the 10th of August that it's supposed to launch. Let's see. Mel Reaver, it would be interesting if they lost skill levels when put in a different job while they gain skill levels. Oh, like they forget how to do something? That would be an interesting mechanic. But yeah, that would be an interesting mechanic. But they also have a life expectancy. I could see that mechanic being in place if said villager never died. But the fact that they do have a life expectancy, I don't know how that would really affect the game. Because in most cases, how often have you changed your villagers from one profession to another? I so far have not done it in any of my playthroughs unless it was a necessity. Like I did not have somebody to do that particular job and I moved somebody briefly, but not as a permanent move. Let's see. I never play vanilla. Never really play vanilla. Rome 2 or Med 2? Either. Let's see. Basically, virtually all my hours dumped into Rome 2 or Med 2 are playing with mods. Okay. I'm not sure what Rome 2 and Med 2 are, because I haven't played those. One thing I've considered as a programming project is to write a number of modules to extend a city builder I've called Dawn of Man. Now, I have played Dawn of Man. I enjoyed that for a little bit. Set in ancient Rome. Okay. It's written in Unity, so it's actually fairly simple to do if you know C prompt. I'm assuming that's what that stands for, C prompt. I don't do programming, so I don't know these programming terminologies. Let's see. Having some C prompt programs to show a prospective employer would be a very good thing. Okay, good. Mel Reaver played a lot of Dawn of Man. Yeah, hang on. I don't know how many hours I have. I can look real quick, but I have it. It's in my list. Dawn of Man. I got about 100 hours in Dawn of Man. I enjoyed it. I played Dawn of Man Banished. So I originally played Banished. I got about 122 hours in Banished. And then I saw Dawn of Man was coming out, and I ended up playing Dawn of Man for about 100 hours. But I haven't touched either one of them. Matter of fact, neither one are actually on my computer anymore. I've actually uninstalled the game from my computer. I did load up Banished maybe about a month ago or something and played it for a couple of days. And then I got my fix and I was done with it and took it back off the computer. Let's see here. Junior, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. When co-op mode is going to be released. So they actually haven't announced when co-op mode is going to be released yet. But if I had to guess, I would, and it might be a stretch, but I would think that because the co-op update is going to be so big, I would think that it would be a fair guess that they would possibly release it on the anniversary date of the game, which would be September. And if we wanted to get specific, the anniversary of the game, I believe, is September 21st, because it came out in 2020, and I believe it dropped on September 21st. Now, Steam may have... What is Steam listed at? I think Steam lists 2021. Yeah, so September 23rd, 2021 is the listed release date for Medieval Dynasty. But it was actually, it released into early access in 2020, because I have videos that go back all the way to September of 2020 for Medieval Dynasty. But 2021 was the full release of the game when it exited early release or early access and went into full release. That was in 2021. Let's see. Rome 2 and Med 2 are total war games. Oh, okay. I get it. Yeah, I've never played those. Let's see, Christine, I'm good with playing both genders, but for the role-playing aspect, it's nice playing one's own gender. I would agree with that. I mean, I like the fact that they are that they're putting the option in the game now.
See you soon.
I do remember early being back in 2020, right after the game even just released to Steam on early access. There were a lot of people that were kind of hating on the game because it didn't have a female character. But if you're looking at the game as a game and not some kind of political object, but if you look at it as a game and look at the storyline is extremely reflective on a male character, especially in the times. So when they were asked if they were going to be adding a female character or like a character creation screen to have a female character, they were a hard no. Just very plainly, a very hard no. And they were that way almost throughout the entire first year the game was released. And then it just kind of went silent. People they would mention that they wanted it, or they wish that they had a female character in the game and stuff like that. And it just really would never, they let the community answer those questions. They stopped answering them themselves. And probably because at that time they were deciding on how they could implement a female character. And I believe that they've made the right choice by implementing a female character in the co-op version. Because I would believe the co-op version, I'm not sure why my frame rate's just tanked, but I believe that them coming out with this co-op update allows them the ability to adjust the storyline to where a female character can be added and not disrupt the storyline. That's just my take. I don't know personally. I haven't, they obviously don't talk to me about inner workings like that. All right, let's see. Let's check the food real quick since I am here. So far, I'm not getting anything that anybody's starving, which is a good thing. But I want to make sure that I don't need to make a batch of something. I probably need to up the production of... Yeah, they've eaten all the meals. Okay. We need to up the production of flatbread. So, I'm going to go back to my mathematics again and figure this out. See if I catch up on chat a little bit too. Let's see. Looking forward to this update. Always good to watch you stream. I appreciate that. But I have to work now. Enjoy. At rest. Well, have a good day. Actually played a bunch of DOM? DOM? That might be DOM. And have banished, but don't have lots of time in it. Okay. Morgan's Cat, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well today. Let's see. One thing that's extremely borked about DOM is that straw is used to feed animals over winter. That's not how that works. Yeah, typically, now if you're talking about real life and then virtual life comparisons, I would have to agree to some extent. Because I grew up with horses. My family had horses growing up and stuff. And we actually overstocked straw at the end of fall. Summer and fall, we overstocked the straw. That way we could actually feed straw and grain to our animals in the wintertime. That way they had both. But it would have to be stored, like in the barn and stuff. You couldn't store it outside. Couldn't just cover it. Let's see here. Naren, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Don't care what people say. I love the game. It makes me happy, and I will continue to play it. Well, that's good. Salty Siren, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hello, I hope everyone is having a wonderful Tuesday. Yes, we are having a wonderful Tuesday. At least I am. Get to stream a little bit. I know I skipped last week. My schedule has been super upside down. I've got kids getting ready to start back to school this week. I've had my youngest son we signed him up for 3 different camps this year. So he had 2 jujitsu camps that he went to, both about 4 days long. And then he went to a baseball camp because he's decided to play baseball this fall. He played football last year, but he's decided to play baseball this year. So we signed him up for a baseball camp. That way he could get some good skills in before joining a local team here. And that way he could get a little back history on how to play the game efficiently. And then my oldest son, he's playing football again this year. And so he started practice and everything. And the schedules for this stuff is just wonky. And then, of course, we're coming into late in the year. So my family, we've got a lot of birthdays and stuff that are coming up this month and next month and the next month and so on and so forth. And then, of course, my work schedule on top of that, which I'm already gearing up for my winter season. So it's making things a little bit hectic, and it's had to cut into some of my YouTube time, so to say. But I appreciate everybody joining when they can and when I'm on. I'm hoping to start getting some more videos coming back out, some actual just regular long version videos back out here pretty soon. Like I'd mentioned in the last couple of streams, I've got a No Man's Sky guide that I'm working on, trying to finish up. And it's going to be a guide. I'm going to be dropping 3 or 4 videos basically in a day, because it's a mini series that's going to take you through starting No Man's Sky and getting you into making loads of money and loads of nanites. If you played No Man's Sky, you kind of know what I'm talking about. But I'm hoping to get those completed. I would love to get them completed this week. I just don't think it's going to happen. We got like my oldest son's got scrimmage tonight. He's got scrimmage tonight. My youngest has his meet the teacher stuff tomorrow evening. I've got my eye appointment Thursday. So if some of you new people don't know, I get an eye injection in my eye once a month, about every 5 weeks. That appointment is Thursday, so I'm going to be kind of down and out for that day. And of course, I'm working almost every day the rest of the week. And then my kids start school on Friday. Once my kids start school, I will have a little bit more time during the afternoons before I have to go and pick them up and stuff like that to try and start working more on videos again. But this summer kind of snuck up on us, and camps kind of snuck up on us. We didn't realize that all these camps are going to be available, and we wanted to give our kids these opportunities to go to these camps and stuff. But let's see here. I need to figure out food demand real quick. Let's open up my calculator here. Let's clear out whatever I was doing on that before, because that was a lot of numbers. Let's see. So my food demand per day, it says I've got 340 food on hand. That is not enough, because my demand is in the parentheses for the day is 4,386. And the flatbread, let's go into the knowledge. I believe we can go here. Is it consumables? Is flatbread in the consumables? Yeah, right there. Is 45 food. So we're going to divide this 4,386 by the 45, and we get 97.46 repeating. So we're going to go 98. So we're supposed to have, they're supposed to be consuming 98 flatbread a day. That's a lot. But we did that last season, and I don't think that they consumed that every day. So we need, what do we need? We need water and flour. We got 2,000 flour here. I'm going to take half of that. Well, that's almost 3,000 flour. I'm going to take half of that because I want to leave some for my people to make. And then I'm going to go grab water. We have lots of buckets of water. I'll grab half of those. And then since it's nighttime and nobody is doing anything, we can actually use any of these ovens we want. And we can make a ton of flatbread. All right, so 185. We're going to make the 98. Is that what I said? 98? Yeah. We'll make the 98 flatbread. That way they have flatbread for tomorrow. Morgan Scat, every time I watch one of your videos, I can't help but want to play. That's why I do it. To suck you back into the game. You know you want to play it. Let's see here. Sigvar, hey, good to see you, buddy. Let's see, how old are your children already? Let's see, my oldest son is 13. He just turned 13 this month. And my youngest is 10. He turned 10 in April. All right, let's go into food. Let's go to flatbread. We'll drop that in there. Now, let's go through. We're going to do this from this screen and see how many kitchens I have making flatbread. Now, that one's doing roasted fish, which that's fine. We'll up that a little bit. But we want to make sure that we are making enough flatbread for the day. Whoops. Oops. Gosh, dang it. Wrong button all over the place. Click that, click that. Let's see, we were here. Now this one's marked flatbread, so that should be not even making flatbread. Okay. Which ones are making flatbread? Okay, this one is making flatbread. Let's go custom name. We're going to go flatbread. No, we want to take off everything else and go flatbread 1. No, 1. We'll accept that. And then we're going to go into another one. This one is not making flatbread. This one is making flatbread. Okay, so we're going to custom name this one. And we'll do this flatbread 2. 2. And let's see, this one. Now, not all of these kitchens are in the same place. Okay, so this one here is also flatbread. We'll do this one. Flat. Do I capitalize the B? I think I've been capitalizing the B. I don't know. I don't need to. 3. No, I have not been capitalizing the B. Good. This one is not flatbread, and this one is flatbread. Okay, so that one's making 34%. That's 6 flatbread a day. All right, and there's only one person in that building. Interesting. But let's go make this one flatbread 4. Perfect. See if I can catch up on a little chat here. Beeswax and honey. Oh, I missed something. Hang on. Oh, yeah, that would be done with hay in real life. I'm saying I'd add a hay dryer that would generate tasks to gather grass, and you would generate hay that way. Oh, that's interesting. But would you be so would you be planting fields of specific grass? Like you would be planting fields of like flax or wheat or something like that. That's an interesting take on it, because that is how you gather hay. It is cutting grass and then obviously binding it together, so it's either in a roll fashion or a bundle. Beeswax and honey. Okay, I see. Now, knowing we got hay, that they did not add beeswax or honey to it. Beeswax and honey was added to the grain. We would buy the grain with those particular, especially the honey, added to it. Another thing is medicinal herb patches that villagers would use to recover from disease and infections and to treat animal diseases. Medieval Dynasty does kind of have that. I just don't. Every now and then there's an event that comes up in Medieval Dynasty to where you got to give your people the St. John's wort to fight off whatever infection is spreading across the village. But there's no active, like you don't go into your character list and say, oh, okay, they have an infection, I need to go treat them. And there's also no medical profession other than like the herbalist. But the herbalist doesn't treat people like in a hospital type setting. I do wish that there was kind of a triage kind of a situation in the game. And I do wish your villagers actually took damage from environmental causes. So whether it be heat stroke, freezing, animal attacks, so like your hunters going out and hunting, they would be, more likely to be damaged in a hunting accident, or your lumberjacks, broken arm or something from fallen trees. I do wish that those kind of things would happen, but not necessarily in the event. I'm doing air quotes again. You can't see that. In the events that occur during the season changes. I like the events. They do add a bit of survival aspect to the game, because a lot of them will incur some kind of building damage, loss of materials or food, or loss of mood or loss of production or something from said person that was damaged by the king's hunting party or whatever. I wish there were more active things during the gameplay. So during the season, you had a logging accident and 2 people were hurt, and they're going to be, say, out of commission for a season. And you have to kind of micromanage that position and add people into that position. So like you would take maybe one of your kitchen staff or maybe somebody from the sewing hut and put in a logging position. Somebody that was, if you looked at their skills, they were, slightly qualified to be in that position for that season. And then when the person returns the following season, the damaged person or injured person, then you could replace them back. Or if they needed, say when they came back the next season, maybe they needed a light duty job. I think that some of those would add more to the game as a survival game. But Medieval Dynasty, even though it does have the survival aspects to it, I don't think it's a focused survival game. It's more of a city builder. Mel Reaver, school starts early where you are. It doesn't start until after Labor Day here. Yeah, it was like that in California when we lived out there. The school does start a little earlier here. Now, Friday for the kids is a half day. Why they do a half day on a Friday is I don't know. I don't understand it. I think it's silly. I mean, they're going to go for 4 hours, 5 hours, and then, parents have to take off half a day to go pick them up. Or of course they got to ride the bus and then they're home alone for the next, 5 hours or 4 hours until parents get home or whatever. It's like, why not just start on the Monday and go full day? But no, they got to do half day on a Friday and stuff like that. They've done it every year. I'd also add a chandler and soap mixer. Oh, soap maker. Cleanliness is good. Soap would make disease and infection less likely. Yeah, see, you're getting into you're diving really deep into the survival aspect. I like that because I do like survival games, and I think that survival games on the survival aspect are more focused on surviving attacks from like enemies or animals or something like that, rather than from elements and disease and things like that. And that's just my experience in the survival games that I've played. You'd have an ashery to make ash reducing soap. Brewery would have a mead recipe. Yeah, okay. I see that. That's nice. Also fermenting fruit into cider. They do have an option in here because they've got the honey production and things like that, and you can make the meads and the beers, and you can make the juices from the fruits. But it's very simplistic. It's not on a realistic scale like what you're talking about. But I do like all of your suggestions for sure. I mean, it seems like you've got the idea going in the right direction. So hopefully you can get signed on with somebody and implement that, or even do it yourself. I don't know how much game development and design experience you have, but maybe you can work on something yourself if you're not already. Let's see here. Why do you leave your work intensity at 1%? So I don't have a mark on my screen. If you have a villager assigned to a workstation, but they don't have an assignment, you're going to get the little anvil with the paper underneath it show up on your screen because you don't have an assignment set for that person. So having the assignment set at 1%, they're making the absolute minimum they can make. You don't have to worry about them giving you the warning that there's no assignment, and you usually don't have to worry about them running out of materials, so you won't get a warning about that either. And it's just easy. So they have a job and they've got an assignment. No matter how menial it is, they have something to do. And that's all the game really wants you to do, is give the villagers something to do, and then make sure that they have the needed materials to do whatever that something is. So giving them a 1% lets me focus on the warnings that do pop up on the screen and help alleviate those. And of course, I had some that were on the screen, and it was probably some of my farm workers didn't have anything to do because there were no crops to plant. There was nothing to plant. That was probably what most of those were. But that's why I do that. So then I can go back and I can assign them, I can adjust their production as needed on the different seasons and things like that. That's why I do that. But we need to go through and make sure that I am producing, what did I say, 90 something, 98 flatbread. What I could do is I could divide the 98 by what? What do we have? 6? No, I'm not going to do 6. Let's do 4. Can I do 4 kitchens? So if I can have 4 kitchens making, we're going to call it 25 flatbread. That'll be 100 flatbread a day. Then I can have the other 2 kitchens cooking the roasted fish meat, because we do have fish coming in, but we're not doing anything with it. So let's go. We've got four of these guys making flatbread, but let's see how I wish I could drag that arrow up there. I mean, I like this intensity level and stuff, but I don't necessarily, I wish I could drag that line. What did I say? 25, there's 25. And we'll go to this one and see if we can make this one 25. Three, 4, 5. Good. And all of these so far have 2 people working them. 23, 4, 5. Whoop, I think I went too far. 25. There we go. Now this one only has one person working it. Can I, hang on, what does that other person, because we had a person that just turned 18. 18, what do they do? Oh, they're hunting. Now their production is 3. So that's not bad. They could start at 3. Because their hunting is already a 10. So I could put her in that other kitchen. Okay, I can do that. Oh, go back into here. Let's put her back in this other kitchen so she'll have a job. This one here. Go to age. There she is right there. Then let's see if we can get this one to 25. If not, we'll have to incorporate a 5th kitchen to take up the slack. Okay, 2268. Okay, let's do this. We're going to do a little math, because some of those others were over 25, and I could probably make it up on one of the others. Let's see, 22.68. Let's go to this one. 2514 plus 25.14. Oops, nope, back clear. 25.14. So we're 4782. This one. Again, 2517 plus 25.17. $72.99. And this one here is also $25.17 plus 25.17. Okay, so we're at 98.16 flatbread. So we are producing enough flatbread now per day to match what our demand is. As long as the windmill is producing enough flour from the wheat. How much wheat do we have? So, where's my wheat? Way down the bottom of the list. We are already out of wheat grain. Oh, they got to thresh it. Okay. All right, so do I have to assign them the threshing of the wheat grain? Going to here because that is going to be the barn. The barn. A whole lot of people. What is this one saying? No resources for rye. But they have the wheat grain, and they're going to be doing 230 wheat grain a day. Okay. So then we need to go into, let's go back into the kitchen. Where's it at? Production, kitchen, and the flatbread at. I should have clicked one that was flatbread. Let's see. So that's 8 flour that they need. And I believe it takes 5 grain to make 20 flour. Let's see, where's the windmill? There it is. In the windmill. Yes. So it takes 5 grain and it's going to produce 20 flour. Okay. So we're going to have 98.6 flatbread times the 8 flour. That's 785.28 flour. And then let's see, the flour, and then it's going to be the 785.28 times 5 for how many grain it takes to make the 20 flour. Let's see. Equals. That can't be right. That can't be right. Hang on. I messed up on something. Did my music stop? I don't hear my music. There we go. My music stopped. I don't know if I hit something. I don't know how long it stopped. I just noticed I wasn't hearing it anymore. Zigvar, you got to go. Take care, buddy. I appreciate you stopping by. You're on a tangent. Sorry. No worries, man. Live stream here, man. We're just hanging out and doing some medieval stuff, talking about whatever. I'm good with it. Okay, trying to figure out the flatbread situation. Okay, so we've got the 98 flatbread that we are making. And that 98 flatbread requires, what did I say? 8 flour. So we're going to go times 8 for the flour. That's 784. Now, 784 flour, we're going to divide that by the 20 flour we produce each time. So we're going to divide that 784 by 20, which we get 39.2. So we're going to have to produce flour, 20 flour, 39.2 times a day, which we are not producing 39.2 flour a day. Can we up that to 39? Can we go that high? I don't think we can go that high. No, we can go to 23. Man, that's going to be a lot. Okay. So at 39.2 times a day, producing 20 flour, we need 39.2 times 5. Times 5. Comes out to 196 grain. So it looks like we might need to build another windmill. Which is interesting because I was producing enough flour for them to eat off of flatbread before. But now it seems like I'm totally having to increase all of my stuff. But I don't remember how long ago I set up my flatbread production. Okay. I mean, I've got enough building space to where I can build another, what am I trying to think of? Windmill. Okay, well, let's go to sleep. And then maybe I can, what time do we got? Oh, I don't know if I've got time to build another windmill or not. Let's see, can I borrow a bed in somebody's house? Hello, is everybody? Ah, there's a bed. I don't know whose bed it is, but I'm gonna use it. Sleep today. Oh, 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 watch out. All right. Oh, and I'm still here. Perfect. Let's go see about building another windmill out here. Let's actually take the paths that were built to use. Let's see. Do I have room for another windmill? I do. I can actually put that windmill back here because there is nothing in here. And actually, I should probably rearrange all of these buildings in here. Because these were built when I had the two barns. But we can put a windmill back here. Hammer out. Buildings. Farming. Windmill. Let's see. That's the front of the windmill. How far back can we put it? And can we not? Oh, we can't put it that far over. Okay. Let's literally set it in the corner here. We're gonna drop that. And we should have enough material. I got 2,000 of each of these. Morgan's cat, gonna have you in the background while I play. Good deal. Appreciate it. Alrighty. Now, let's get all these logs in here. Bang, bang, bang. I don't even know who I'm going to put in here. I'm probably going to have to steal somebody from another profession or something. Can I assign an apprentice without having an actual worker in here, I wonder? Lala, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well today. Having to add another windmill because I don't think my first windmill is not going to be producing enough flour, flour to make the flatbread. There we go. And no, I don't have the fast building on. I know that's an option now. Let's see, customize game settings, fast building. All right, let's turn that on. Accept changes. Bam. Oh, look at that. That's kind of nice. Oh, foundation. There we go. There we go. Come on. In there. Yeah, I like that. Fast crafting, fast building. I like fast. It helps. Do they ever use this string, this rope? I don't know that I've ever seen them use the rope. Okay, let's, where is, there it is, a little signboard. Let's see, can I select an apprentice? It looks like I can assign an apprentice. Okay. Let's give them an assignment. What did I say I needed? What, like 3 more or something? Yeah, there's no worker. So you have to have a worker. The apprentice can't just do that. Okay. Let's go in here. Let's find a worker. Stall holder. There are 2. Don't really want to take a farmer, even though I might be able to. Lumberjack, water carrier. Stall holder, she's a 1. I'm not going to take one of those 10s right now because they don't need to level up anymore. Let's see, a farmer, a 9. A miner, I could probably take a miner, but they're only a 2. I'd rather get a 3. Seamster. Lumberjack. Maybe a lumberjack, actually. Yeah, we'll pull this lumberjack over there. There we go. And the assignments. I think we only need to give them, what, 4 more? Yeah, we'll do that. That should be good there. All right. So we should be producing enough flour to make the flatbread that we need in a day's time. Let's see. I sort of think it'd be cool if you had to deal with villagers getting sick, maternal and infant child mortality, and the like, giving you mechanical reason to build an herbal. Yes. I do believe that the herbalist being in the game, I mean, it's nice to have, but it doesn't necessarily have a mechanical function in the game other than gathering your herbs and making potions. But the player is the only one that's really using the potions. It's not like you have to have potions on hand because your villagers are getting sick. I do wish that was an element, a mechanic in the game, for sure, along with your villagers needing clothing materials. So new clothes for each season. I think clothing should have a condition on it. Matter of fact, clothing does have a condition on it, because you can go in and you can look at your clothes and there is a condition, like this hat with lapels. I got this off of a bandit. And at the time, it had 82% condition on it. It still has 82% condition. All of my clothes and stuff that I have bought or picked up or found from the beginning of Season 5 still have 100% condition. So your shoes don't wear out, your pants don't wear out, your gloves don't wear out. None of that stuff wears out. And I wish that was an element in the game, because then that would also make the sewing hut a viable use in the game. Right now, everybody only uses the sewing hut. I say everybody. Most people only use the sewing hut to sew the bags together from the leather that their hunters are gathering. That way they can sell it, because they sell for, like, I don't know, what, 40 coins a piece or something? I mean, it's an easy way to make money, consistent money. And then you can just sell those bags at your merchant hut to make, in essence, it's passive money, but it's really not passive. Somebody's actually doing something. But the sewing hut really has no real use. I mean, you can go and you can make all of this different apparel and you can wear it yourself, but your villagers don't need it. And I think that that would be an absolute game changer in this game if your villagers, one, like you were saying, got sick or something, and you needed these potions and herbs and stuff for them to heal. You would have I would think you would actually have a different working position rather than just the herbalist. I think you would have some type of a medical profession. I don't know if it would be tied to the herbalist hut or if it would be like a triage kind of a thing, or what you would call the position as far as medieval times goes. But you would have a healer that would utilize the herbs, the potions, and things that were being produced by the herbalist hut. And then your villagers would also need to actually go to the merchant to purchase new clothing that is being produced by the seamstress. So that way you've now got potentially many positions that are starting to get linked together in the game as an actual mechanic. And then if people's clothing was wearing out and there wasn't any available, then they would be more susceptible to the cold weather or the hot weather, for heat stroke and freezing, and things like that. They would maybe utilize food more, so they would become more starved, or they would be consuming more food or consuming more wood in their house because they don't have the proper clothing or something like that. I mean, it could get very intricate, for sure. But yeah, I would like to see a lot of that stuff added to the game. But again, I also like the fact that they're adding these options to where you can turn them on or off on how you like. I mean, you can turn poisoning off. But right now, the only person that can really be poisoned is the player. Villagers can't be poisoned. Unless it's an event at the end of the season. But I haven't received that event very often. Matter of fact, in this playthrough, I don't know that I've received it more than twice. There is not... So you have all these different sliders to where you can change the multipliers of things and stuff like that. You can change the needs of your villagers. But see, they have food need, water needs, and wood needs. They don't have like a medical need. And they don't have a slider to where the different seasons, how they affect your villagers. Because they don't. The seasons don't affect your villagers. Your villagers, they change their clothes automatically each season. Like they have an endless supply of whatever outfit they're wearing. It would be nice to see a bigger variation of clothing. So again, if you are making in your seamstress hut, if you are making one set of clothes, and maybe that could actually be an option, is making sets rather than individual items. But if you're making one type of, say, trouser with cuffs, then everybody in the town is going to be wearing trousers with cuffs, and it would visually be shown. But if you're making some trouser with cuffs and, some hose or joined hose or trousers or whatever, and you have the different things available, I think it should be random as to what the villager chooses to wear. So then you have that variety as to what they're wearing as well. I mean, you could take some of these options like that, and you could dive really deep into the game as to how intricate it could be. However, I don't know how difficult that would be to implement in the game as well. And then obviously, what people are wearing. So if they're not wearing the right clothing for the right season, it can affect their mood as well. And why are they wearing the wrong clothing for the wrong season? Is it not available to them, or is there not enough being produced? So then at that point, Rasimir or your heir, or however far in the game you're at, would have to go to the nearest village and purchase said clothing or said materials to make said clothing and stuff like that. But I've made mention of that even early in the game when the sewing hut was first made available and stuff, that the villagers don't wear anything that you make. So there's really no need to have the sewing hut other than putting a villager in it to make the bags, which you can craft in your own little crafting wheel. Where is that at? Did I forget where that is? Here, crafting here. Yeah, right there. So the simple bag, 3 leather, you can make them in your pocket, basically. So technically you don't even need a villager in the sewing hut. However, the sewing hut does get you turn the flax stalk into the linen thread. So if you're using linen thread for anything, making torches and lanterns and stuff like that, then obviously you're going to have somebody in the sewing hut making those things, which is what I do. I have them making the bags, I have them making the linen thread and the woolen thread. Ken, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Hope you're doing well. It's actually going pretty good. We've been streaming for a couple hours. I'm actually getting ready to sign off. We've been having lots of discussions on mechanics recently in the game and stuff. David, good to see you. Are you playing the pre-release of the new version? No. I would not be able to share that, but I am also not part of the beta test for that as of yet. I haven't been notified that I have been accepted yet. I hope I get accepted. I would really like to be on that test team, but I have not heard whether I have or have not been accepted yet. So no, I am actually playing on the public test, which is the summer update. That's what I'm playing on right now. So no, I can't. Sorry, David, can't show you any of the co-op stuff. And even if I was playing on that, I wouldn't be able to share it anyway because I would have to sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, to where I agreed not to share that stuff. So, Ashley, good to see you. Hello from North Carolina. Oh, nice. Well, hello from Tennessee. Ken, I'm finally good. I'm good. Finally caught you live again. Yeah, too bad it was late in the stream. No worries. The stream will be up after. You can go back and replay the whole stream again. David, I would think you would be a beta tester. I would like to be. You know, so it would be really nice. But Toplitz and RenderCube, they've got a really strict rule set on picking testers, so I don't get any special treatment, so to say. Lala, they'll be hearing from me if they don't let you test. I appreciate that. But hopefully, hopefully they do. Hopefully they let me test. But even to be fair, even if I was accepted, I couldn't tell you if I was accepted. Again, I would have to sign an NDA, and I couldn't tell you yes or no whether I was or was not accepted. But as of this time, I'm not tied to an NDA on that, so I can tell you I am not a tester. But anyway, I think that we are going to call this a stream. Oh, do that, and do that. I appreciate everybody being here today. Hope you guys are getting geared up and excited for the new co-op. And for those of you that have been asking for a female character, your wish has been granted. So you're going to be getting that in the new update. It looks like we're going to be having 2 more teasers come down the pipeline before we actually see the update. Again, I don't know when the update is going to go live. They have not announced the date yet, but as soon as they do, I will hopefully be able to let you guys know as soon as I can. But again, I appreciate everybody being here today. If you're still here, make sure you click that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. I greatly appreciate it. It does help the channel out a lot. And I want to give a special thanks to all of my members. As you can see them scrolling along the screen right now, I appreciate everybody for going the extra mile to support my channel and what I do. But anyway, we will see you folks in the next one. You take care and happy hunting.